Y el mundo está como está, porque todos tienen mala voluntad. Y el mundo está como está, porque todos tienen mala voluntad. Y el mundo está como está, porque todos tienen mala voluntad. Y el mundo está como está, porque todos tienen mala voluntad. Somos la chuma inconsciente, incapaz de tener opinión. Somos la chuma inconsciente, incapaz de tener opinión. Somos la chuma inconsciente, incapaz de tener opinión. Somos la chuma inconsciente,
incapaz de tener opinión. ¿Cómo está la Sari?
Hola Marcia, estoy bien. ¿Tú cómo estás?
¿Ya te recuperaste bien de tu enfermedad de la semana pasada?
No, estoy bien, perfecto.
Bien. Bien. ¿Cómo estuvo ese trabajo de cartera esta semana?
Estoy cansadísima, pero feliz por eso, porque en este momento siempre estoy feliz cuando trabajo.
Sí.
Sí.
Dignidad para las mujeres trabajadoras.
Sí.
Necesitamos
Igual
por favor.
sí, eso sí. Igual es lindo trabajar como cartera porque puedo pasear por la ciudad y eso me gusta.
Sí, es como mezclar
Bueno.
tus dos pasiones, el
Sí.
pasear por ahí y estar haciendo algo productivo. Y finalmente el dinero no lo podemos dejar de lado. Estaba el otro día en un círculo de conversación en inglés y una de las preguntas que hacían era, ¿qué es más importante, el amor o el dinero? Y yo les decía, bueno, con lo que yo he visto en la vida, mi propia experiencia, no se puede hacer nada sin dinero, así que yo creo que el amor no es más importante, es más importante.
No, es cierto. No podemos ni comer sin dinero, así que...
Sí, no, yo decía, tengo 3 hijas, siempre fue necesario como tener mucho dinero para mantenerlas y es verdad,
Es verdad, es así.
no se puede tener nada sin dinero, así pues, partimos con nuestra
Sí. ¿Y
revuelta.
qué nos cuenta de nuevo, Marcia? ¿Tenés un nuevo corte de pelo?
Oye, sí, mira,
¡Wow! Te queda muy bien. Yo no tengo el coraje de cortármelo, pero te juro que lo haría.
¿sabéis por qué me lo corté? Porque primero me habían dejado la cagada en el pelo. Y lo otro es que como que cuando me tomo el pelo, me hago una cola, me gusta cómo me veo. Entonces dije, ¿por qué no? ¿Cachai?
Sí,
Y salió un aviso de esa academia de estilistas que cortaban el pelo gratis. Así
ay,
que,
sí. Pasa de vez en cuando.
oye, sí, me fui carepalo, dije ya, si tengo que morir, voy a morir con dignidad.
Obvio que sí.
Así que fui, me cortaron el pelo y quedé súper contenta. Aparte que me dio risa porque la profesora del lugar me tocó el pelo y me dijo, I feel sorry for you. Y esa fue como la confirmación de que estaba haciendo lo correcto. ¿Cachai?
Ay, mejor.
Fue muy divertido. Oye, saludemos a Alfredo Ibar, que nos transmite desde Perú por radio414.com. Y también yo por lo menos estoy histérica, nerviosa, porque vamos a tener nuestra primera entrevista en inglés. Estoy arrastrando la Sari en esta aventura. Vamos a estar conversando con la banda de Estados Unidos Fellowcraft, que tiene a su haber en este momento son 4 discos, 3 discos y un EP. Ellos han hecho una carrera bien bonita, bien autogestionada como todos, y han tenido tremendos hitos durante la pandemia, se atrevieron a hacer cosas que otras bandas no, entonces por lo mismo queremos juntarlos con Wolf, que es una banda que ha estado luchando por años y finalmente este año ya tuvieron sus primeros frutos, ya están trabajando con un sello en Italia pero ahí falta de repente atreverse a hacer más cosas y que todos manejen o remen para el mismo lado. Entonces, por ahí va la intención de juntarnos. Así que esperemos que sea un tremendo programa y tenemos muchas canciones para mostrar, así que vamos a partir con la italiana preferida.
Bueno, quiero empezar por nuestras amigas de Brasil, que la chica de Ex-Wife, que estrenaron Final Hour, así que vamos a empezar con ellas.
Tremendas mujeres, son tremendas. Estoy escuchando un poco tu selección musical, está pero re buena, así que vamos a partir con Ex-Wife. Suelta el cable, Sara. ¡Bravo! Oye, tremendas, se pasaron. Ellas son Ex-Wife desde Brasil, estuvieron con nosotras unos programas atrás. Ahí están, me acuerdo que estaban a punto de tocar, parece, ese día.
Sí. Sí, era algo así, como una presentación.
Estaban ahí
Muy
desde
buenas.
Brasil. Tremenda canción. Ahí falta como... y me gusta eso de lo cotidiano. Muestra como las cosas que están haciendo día a día. Bacán.
Exactamente.
Vamos ahora, me gustaría partir con nuestros amigos de Adoquines, que la semana pasada estuvimos mostrando su canción, o la semana antepasada, y la
Sí.
verdad es que la mostramos como muy mal, así que me gustaría partir con ello, mostrándola como corresponde, y además recordarles a todos que ellos mañana van a estar lanzando el disco Australis Disconformes, así que atentos, esto es un pedacito de lo que se viene, así que apoyar todos a adoquines que se la juegan con todo por su carrera musical. Vamos con Diputado Alcoholizado. Me alcoholicé. Perdón. Algo pasa con
Alcoholizados.
algo pasa con esa canción. Vamos de nuevo.
Sí.
Oportunidad.
Changueando todo el día, mis venas se llenaron.
Laburando, maquinando,
Ellos no se esfuerzan, sentados en bancadas, son dioses del Olimpo.
traficando al Estado,
Yo salgo de noche, consumo nicotina, me paro en la esquina.
pistoleando, vacilando,
El honorable juega con polvos y olvidos, choca su Mercedes.
y se salva jabonado.
Diputado alcoholizado, se prepara unos tragos. Diputado alcoholizado, puras coimas en su estrato. El diputado alcoholizado tiene mucha sed de poder, mucha sed. Plena madrugada, saliendo de una disco, llegando a una esquina.
No creía que veía,
Era un diputado, borracho y durazno, chocó a un ciudadano.
en su auto endiablado,
Llegó la
Por fin.
Sí,
Oye, algo pasa con esa canción. Parece
sí,
que no es
es
tan...
como que no quieren, nos quieren censurar, ya que habla del diputado alcoholizado, pero
Diputados drogadictos y alcohólicos. Eso. No, pero
eso es,
esta canción no trata de las adicciones, trata simplemente de ese emborrachamiento que hay con el
sí,
poder una vez que convencieron al pueblo de apoyarlos y luego se les olvida todas las promesas.
claro, es lo que pasa siempre.
Sí, menos en la revuelta cultural.
Exactamente.
Nosotros cumplimos las promesas. Vamos con la Sari. ¿Qué nos trae? ¿Para qué?
Bueno,
Vamos.
vamos a España con La ira de Jack y la canción Abisal.
Qué buena esta canción. Oye, la ira de Jack, por favor, me gustaría tener una dupla, Eclipse, creo que se llama la otra banda, y la ira de Jack. Sería, pero
Sí,
bacán. Vamos a hacer todo lo posible. Vamos con
esa.
España y Avisal. Tremendos. Qué bueno.
Son buenísimos.
¿Cómo los encontraste? ¿Cómo los encontraste?
Los encontré gracias a YouTube, a las notificaciones que siempre me avisan cuando hay estrenos. Y esta canción de verdad me gustó muchísimo. Y acá dicen que Avisal es el single de presentación de la nueva formación de la banda con la incorporación de Víctor Camargo a la voz.
Tremenda incorporación.
Buenísimos.
Muy bien,
Sí.
excelente. Oye, sí, está bueno. Hay una banda de Chile que se llama Alejandría, que tiene una canción también que se llama Avisal. También es así como bien.
Mira,
A ellos dos los podríamos juntar. Que
podría ser.
me gusta hacer esto de las citas a ciegas con las bandas. Siento
Sí.
eso es que eso que le falta a la gente de como atreverse a contactar con alguien, debería dejar de ser así, ¿cachai? Porque a veces basta con un pequeño, no sé, una conversación. Estaba viendo una entrevista de Fellowcraft,
Sí.
que hablan de eso, ¿cachai? Que ellos se atrevieron a preguntarle a varios artistas famosos que tienen gran trayectoria si es que podían trabajar con ellos y les dijeron que sí, ¿cachai? Entonces igual es como, vamos, vamos, vamos.
Sí. Hay
Y
que
me gustaría mostrar
juntarse, colaborar.
los audífonos nos van a matar. Vamos a tener que invertir ahí en... Te voy a mandar los míos. Sé que mi audífono yo no les tenía mucha fe, pero me
¿No?
ha salido súper bueno. No son muy bonitos, pero igual se escucha mejor que antes. Así
Sí,
que
sí.
sí. Oye, ya pues vamos con Chucho de Aire Arcano. Me gustaría mostrar una canción que nos mandaron que se llama El amor muerde. No la pude descargar, así que voy a tratar de compartirla desde YouTube. Así que ahí vamos con esta cosa que no me gusta mucho hacerla porque es como media extraña, pero vamos a hacer lo posible. Vamos a
Ok.
compartir acá. Nos vamos a escuchar a estos argentinos que están siempre ahí dando la pelea, dando la lucha. Y todavía me tiene ahí esperando, Chucho, porque se lo voy a cobrar. Que igual como que la gente me pregunta por qué hago esto, por qué hacemos esto, por
Sí,
qué... ¿Cachai? Como que no se entiende mucho eso de ser solidario. Entonces, igual una de las cosas que tiene bacán este mundillo de estar cerca de los músicos es que hemos tenido la oportunidad de conocer grandes personajes, sí, pero
es cierto.
muy personas que tienen mucho que entregar, mucho que decir, Y dentro de eso igual está, por ejemplo, las conexiones. Con Chucho, yo le estoy preguntando hace tiempo si me puede hacer como el contacto con el Mosca de 2 minutos. No ha resultado,
Ah,
pero
ok.
en algún momento va a resultar y eso es bacán porque yo pienso, pucha, 2 minutos para mí fue una de las bandas que me encantaba junto con la Polla Records cuando era chica. Y imagínate tener la oportunidad de entrevistar algún día, simplemente.
Claro,
Entonces, esa es lo que uno tiene que sacar.
va a pasar.
Eso, va a pasar. Vamos entonces con el plano. Vamos a ver si resulta esta compartida.
No quedan más palabras hoy. El juego terminó. Aposté mi última carta hoy. No hallamos solución. Si pudiera elegir el amor, seguro que lo haría. El destino marcó otra opción, la de no verte más. ¿Dónde quedó tu sonrisa? Perdida en el tiempo. Idealizamos sueños con ladrillos de algodón. Si tus ojos eran mi pasión, si tu boca era mi elixir, si pudiera volver a existir, seguro serás mía. ¿Dónde quedó tu sonrisa? Perdida en el tiempo. Idealizamos sueños con ladrillos de algodón. Si tus ojos eran mi pasión, si tu boca era mi elixir, si pudiera volver a existir, seguro serás mía.
Ahí está
Bravo.
Cercano desde Argentina con este nuevo trabajo que se llama El amor muerde. Así que atentos, ahí los pueden buscar en YouTube porque ahí suelen compartir su música. Y en las otras redes no sé cómo buscarlo, pero creo que solamente Chucho tiene Instagram.
Ok.
Eso pues. ¿Para dónde nos vamos viajando?
Bueno, vamos a seguir en España con una banda amiga de la ira de Jack, que es Eternal Psycho. Vamos a escuchar una canción que se llama Dirty System del año pasado, porque van a estrenar algo nuevo este lunes 14 de febrero, pero mientras tanto vamos a escuchar algo del primer disco del 2021.
Ok, oye, tremenda banda hoy día, Sarita, te pasaste.
Sí.
Vamos con Eternal Psycho.
Tonight is my bed. Prepare your every day. We're laying so high.
¡Ay, tremendos! Ellos son de España también y están
Madrid.
a punto de lanzar un nuevo disco, un nuevo single este lunes, Sari.
Sí, se llama, lo estaba buscando antes.
Se llama.
Se llama
Ahí
Empty
te
of Promises.
Empty of Promises. Así que atentos a nuestros amigos de Madrid que estarán lanzando. Hoy me estaba acordando, a propósito de ser cartera, que hay una española que les hablé la semana pasada que se llama Elisa C. Martin, que ella también es cartera y ella es una
Mira,
rockera. Me imagino a la Sari repartiendo cartas, escuchando.
sí, yo me divierto porque igual encontrás gente rara y entonces está bien, eso me gusta.
Eso es parte de. Oye, la gente rara. Ayer estaba en mi trabajo de los días viernes, que no es trabajo, es voluntariado. Y el centro se llama Duke, es un centro que atiende a mujeres. La idea es que ellas puedan entrar en cualquiera de los horarios de atención, a almorzar, a ducharse, a estar ahí, a hanging out, ver tele, tomar un café, lo que
Bueno,
quieran hacer. Y las reglas son súper claras, porque está el respeto, dignidad, no ser racista, clasista y todo eso. Hay una señora que siempre se pone a gritar como en contra de los asiáticos, de los negros, de todo, ¿cachai? Y cuando le dicen algo, siempre dice, oye, déjame tranquila porque ya me he tomado no sé cuántas cervezas y me he metido no sé cuántas drogas. Entonces, como que esa es mi justificación.
bueno,
No puedes decir nada porque
se
estoy,
justifica así.
claro, estoy high. Así que, no, pero es bonito el trabajo que hacen en ese centro porque, no sé, los tratan como si fueran a un restaurante, ¿cachai? Y las mujeres lo han pasado mal, ¿cachai? En general. Y este lunes hay una marcha, no por el 14 de febrero, porque la verdad es que ¿a qué le importa?
Me da lo mismo.
Exacto, ¿qué le importa? Who cares? Hay una gran deuda de todos los gobiernos, yo creo que alrededor del mundo, que tiene que ver con los pueblos indígenas. Todos los pueblos indígenas sufrieron en manos de la Iglesia Católica y en manos de los gobiernos ese intento de querer no arraigarlos, sino que arrancarlos de su raíz y transformarlos en personas sociales. Entonces, en ese contexto hay una cantidad de indígenas que fueron asesinados y que no tuvieron nunca una tumba, ¿cachai? No se sabe dónde están, y también muchas mujeres. Entonces, la marcha del lunes es por esas mujeres que han desaparecido sin dejar ni siquiera una huella, ¿cachai?
Claro, qué bueno eso.
Sí, vamos a marchar ahí en Canadá también. Oye, nos vamos con la próxima canción. Vámonos a escuchar a unos amigos que estuvimos escuchando hace unos días. Ellos están compuestos por Felipe Urtubia, que todavía no me queda muy claro si es chileno que vive en España, pero a mí me da la impresión que sí es así. El tema es que ellos se llaman Más que Confinados. Estuvimos escuchando hace poco una canción y ahora vamos con Exijo, que también habla un poco del contexto de la pandemia y qué está pasando. Exijo una respuesta.
Exactamente.
Vamos hasta España. O sea, nos quedamos en España.
Sí.
Balcón puedo mirar como pocos saben la verdad. Lágrimas abrazan la ciudad mientras canto, mueren muchos más. Exijo la verdad.
sobre todo en la vida. Y a pesar de los esfuerzos de algunos para impedirlo, seguiré y seguiremos luchando juntos cada día de nuestras vidas hasta alcanzar la felicidad. ¡Exijo!
¡Ah! ¡Bravo!
Qué bonito.
Oye, qué buena esa. Esa es como una canción para el verano, ¿no? Es como el tema del verano en Europa.
Sí, es como un eslogan, una invitación
Sí.
para no rendirse y ser felices.
Exacto. Cuático eso, porque nuestro único como objetivo en la vida es ser felices y lo único que quieren los empresarios es quitarnos esa felicidad. Cuático. Vamos a contarles quiénes son ellos. Ellos son Polilla y Fu, un dúo musical creado en estado de confinamiento en marzo del 2020, con la necesidad de expresar a través de la música todo lo que en ese momento y hasta estos días está viviendo la humanidad producto de la pandemia, el cuestionamiento de las medidas restrictivas y las posibles violaciones a los derechos humanos. Para combatirla, el dúo se vuelca en la composición grabando un primer disco con 7 canciones con el único objetivo de expresar los sentimientos de los artistas a una realidad mundial sin precedentes. Actualmente el primer single se llama No tengas miedo, Fucking COVID y Exijo. La que estuvimos viendo la otra vez fue Fucking COVID y ahora
Sí.
vimos Exijo. Así que les deseamos todo el éxito del mundo. Aquí estamos. Cuando necesiten promocionar algo, mándenlo nomás porque está muy, muy bueno su trabajo. Eso sería todo. Adiós. Leí demasiado.
No, está bien conocer también algo
Sí,
más de los artistas que presentamos.
Hoy sí, qué exquisito cuando nos mandan la información completa, qué bacán. Eso es total. Así que, por
Sí.
favor, aplíquense.
Bueno, ahora yo tengo mi última canción y vamos a Cuba. Sí, escribió la Daniela Barreto, que nos presenta una canción de Silvio Rodríguez que se llama Te Conozco. Después vamos a leer un poquito de los que nos mandan.
Perfecto, vámonos hasta Cuba, el calorcito.
Ah, 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 ah,
conocí entre mis sueños queridos. Por eso, cuando te vi, reconocí mi destino. Cuando pensaba que ya no iba a ser lo que soñara, de pronto vino. Tanto que yo te busqué y tanto que no te hallaba, que al cabo me acostumbré a andar con tanto de nada. ¿Cuánto nos puede curar el amor? ¿Cuánto renace de tu mirada? Te conozco desde siempre, desde lejos. Te conozco como un sueño bueno y viejo. Es por eso que te toco y te conozco. Te conozco. El lago parece mar, el viento sirve de abrigo, todo se vuelve a inventar si lo comparto contigo. La única prisa es la del corazón, la única ofensa es tener testigos. Te conozco desde siempre, desde lejos. Te conozco como un sueño bueno y viejo. Es por eso que te toco y te
¿cómo está el golf? Bienvenido. Aquí estamos,
Hola.
uno de nuestros invitados. ¿Cómo está el golfcito? Ahí está ahí. Hola. ¿Escucháis? ¿No te escucháis?
Ah, no, no
Habla.
se escucha.
No, nada. Oye, nos vamos a nuestra última canción, aprovechando
¿Sí?
que nos quedamos con el Wolf ahí entre medio. Vamos con la última canción que yo tengo. Le mandamos un gran saludo a la Daniela Barreto. Gracias por... ¿Ahora sí? ¿No? Uf, habla. Probando. 1, 2. No.
No,
Así.
no se escucha.
A lo mejor te tenéis que volver a integrar, no sé. Igual el StreamYard tiene un circulito que es de abajo que dice configuración, ¿cachai? Dice, hay como un engranaje abajo, ¿cachai? Ese lo tenéis que abrir y tenéis que darle el valor que estáis usando. ¿Ya?
Hello, can you hear me?
Ahí está.
Ahora sí.
Bravo.
El eterno problema de la consola, weón. Puta que- Vamos. ¿Cómo
Oye,
estás?
bienvenido. Bien, pues. Te presento a la Sari. La Sari
Hola.
está
¿Estás?
con nosotros.
Hola, hola, ¿cómo estás?
Bien, ¿y tú?
Todo bien, gracias.
Bueno, nota.
Oye, ya vamos a escuchar a la Mar Gutiérrez, nuestro último tema que vamos a compartir esta semana. Ella es de México y está lanzando el último single que se llama Volar. Así que nos quedamos con esta canción y volvemos con nuestros invitados.
Muy bien.
Hoy ya no sé ni quién soy. Hoy solo quiero olvidar. No pertenezco a nada de lo que un día fui. Hoy solo quiero escucharte reír. Hoy tengo ganas de volar. Volar como un pájaro libre. Volar sin miedo a caer. Volar y así poder entender que la vida sigue. Aunque no ¿para qué llorar? ¿Para qué seguir con tanto dolor? Ya no hay razón. Ya no hay razón. Volar como un pájaro libre. Volar sin miedo a caer. Volar y así poder entender que la vida sigue. Aunque no estés, aunque no estés.
Estábamos escuchando a la Mar Gutiérrez desde México y sería nuestra última canción de la semana y le damos la bienvenida a nuestros invitados. We want to welcome our guests, JR and Wolf. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, thank you.
Hi.
Well,
Welcome to our program.
welcome, everybody. We want to introduce a little about both bands. Both are bands that self-sustain. Every work in the past is like without a record label, and they both are doing a great job, but in different like stage, I can say. Fellowcraft is now with 3 albums and 1 EP, and Wolf has 2 albums. So I wanna like know about yourself, about your careers. I was looking an interview from Fellowcraft in Mexico. Pablo Anton told everybody about the great news during the pandemic. You can record. You record the last EP with this guy Cody Ford, and also made a cover with a Bruce Dickinson band. So one of the musicians. So I want to know what is the power you have inside and make you do all these great things. This is the question.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here. I don't really know if it's a power thing, really. I think we just like making music, and the pandemic didn't stop us from trying to make more music. And then with the new record, we had an opportunity to work with Cody Ford from Soen, and we were like, obviously we were like, that's amazing. Like, we are definitely going to do that. It was really a blessing. I think the power, the power of it is really just us working together, trying new things. But no, I don't really know where it comes from.
Yeah, but what is the like? Every member in band has to do something like duty, or everybody makes everything. What is like the composition of the duties?
We all have play different instruments. Like I play guitar and I sing. Pablo plays guitar and sings a little bit with me. Brandon plays the bass, sings some backup with us, and Zach plays the drums. So, but like those are just the instruments. Other aspects of the group we kind of share or do on our own, depending on how they come up and what we need done.
Perfect. But in the social media and everything, you have some people doing this job, or you do by yourself?
I mean, most of that's done by the band, mostly by Pablo.
Okay.
Yeah, every now and then, we don't have any management. There's nobody on the crew.
Wow, this is awesome. This is great to know. Well, I want to ask you the same. What is the power, or I don't know if I am doing the right question, but I want to know what is the motor like, make you feel you can do more.
Well,
Yeah.
This is for Wolf. Wolf.
Oh,
Motor, especially the big wins to have or play rock and roll louder than possible. We create our music under our influence, especially heavy metal, some of hard rock maybe, and try to play everywhere as possible. As I say, very loud as possible. That's our power. We try to get sure that the glass on your table move a few yards away when we play bass, by example.
Okay. Nice. But do you feel you can do better with if every member of the crew has like a duty or something extra, you know?
Yeah, of course. When you play as a team, obviously, apart to play your instrument or composition, always have another task like social media, by example, or sometimes get the fingers on the knobs of the mixing table, by example. We try to get anything possible in another task away from playing music. Um, I think that be able to be equal for every band in everywhere. Always, every band has another task that you can find apart to play music or compose your songs.
Yes, it is. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Peter. Welcome. I want to introduce my partner, Sarah, and
Hi.
from the other band from Chile.
Yeah.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi Marcia, hi Sarah, hi Wolf. My name is Pablo. It's a pleasure to meet you, and it's a pleasure to be here with you. And I play guitar in Fellowcraft.
Hi there, I'm Brandon. I play bass in Fellowcraft as well.
Good. Pablo, I am happy to be here because I was talking about the interview I saw the first time I knew you as a band in Metal Obscura. This great interview, and you show everybody the great job you are doing and the festivals and the streamings and everything you are doing during your career. And the last show like important you participate was Heaven and Hell and Mexico Metal Fest, I think. uh, well, what is this for Fellowcraft? What is the feeling about are doing this great job?
I mean, it's been quite a journey, especially during the pandemic. The last 2 years, it's been quite a journey for us. I think emotionally speaking, because even as we were locked in our houses, and we didn't know what was going to happen to the world, and there was all of this uncertainty. We never knew if we were going to get back to normal. And during that specific period, I think that Fellowcraft was the most important thing we had. It was what really kept us together. We were the only people we were seeing in person because we were stubborn and we still wanted to keep moving ahead and keep writing new material. And it really, that stubbornness and that desire to keep moving forward despite the fact that everybody in the world was telling you to stay put in your house and not do anything. I think that stubbornness, at least in my case, I don't know in the case of my bandmates, it really saved me. It really like the reason that I didn't go crazy during the pandemic was because of these guys. Because I got to once a week, very in a very careful, contained way with masks and social distancing and like all of that. But at least I got to see them and I got to feel like I wasn't alone in the midst of all of that. So very powerful experience, and I think that really that might be what ended up cementing the bonds of our band. Because of course, like all bands and like all relationships and like all we always say that being in a band is like having 4 girlfriends, and they're all very needy at the same time. And so yes, we did have a lot of disagreements and a lot of arguments about creative directions or which shows to play, which shows not to play. Everybody had very strong opinions, but at some point, all that stopped mattering because it really became sort of like a deeper bond. I really cannot imagine my life without Fellowcraft, and I cannot imagine my life without my bandmates.
Wow.
My best friends in the planet. Even though we're far away, we don't live in the same city anymore. There's nobody that knows me better than them, and I'm not even from the same country as them.
Yes.
So I think that sort of like experience, being able to cap that on one side with the last festival that we played, which was Heaven, which the day before the pandemic started, and then on the other end, now that hopefully the pandemic is ending and things are slowly opening back up, we're going to be able to play another festival, which is going to be Mexico Metal Fest in September. And we also have we have like, I lost count, I think 3 or 4 more festivals this year. So we're also playing South by Southwest in Austin, Texas in a month and a half. And then we have a couple of other festivals in the summer, and then Mexico Metal Fest in the fall. So it's quite an honor to be able to, after everything the world went through, we all lived it in different ways, but the way that we, on one end, we experience that we had all of this turmoil and hell to go through, that we went through it together, and we got each other through it together, the different challenges and drama, personal drama that we each had in our lives during these 2 years of changes and uncertainty. Other end, it's like the storm passed and now the calm resides, and then we get to do festivals again. So that's quite nice.
Everybody has to like deal with the new ways to do the things. Everybody has to learn like to how to do everything like by yourself, and I don't know, what's difficult is I name this show, it's a little thing, but I name the same, like it's the show who makes me feel like with somebody and doing something and alive. You say this like a normal thing, but it's very important. People lost their ways, lost their minds. I don't know, was very difficult. I'm gonna ask you the same, Wolf, but first we are going to listen the first songs to know everybody and show your music, okay? We are starting with Maldito, my first lyrics video, the Wolf, and then which song of Fellowcraft we can start. Somebody can say whatever you want. You told me. Please.
Whichever one you like best, Marce.
Yes? Okay.
Yes.
Perfect. I like to read the king here. Vamos con Maldito.
Viviremos tan amargo.
today is the feast of Christmas. And he that outlives this day will stand at tiptoe when this day is named. And rouse them at the name of Christmas. Feast his neighbors and say, tomorrow is St. Christmas. And then will he slip his sleeves, show his scars as huge wounds I had on St. Crispin's Day. Old men forget, and all will be forgotten. But he will remember with advantages what feats he did that day.
Bravo. Que power! I didn't find this song on Spotify. I don't know what happened. Is part of a last album or is new?
We released it as a single, actually. So that it would have been a little bit back, and I think that was September of 2019. Some of the footage of playing that big show in Mexico City, Pablo, with Kubo. It's a lot of fun.
Ah, nice. Okay, we're going back to Wolf. Wolf, can you tell me about the pandemic time? What happened with Wolf?
A lot of things. Before all, my congratulations. Great songs, buddies. Great video. Rock and roll. No, in pandemic times was really harder for, especially for the anemic issues. With the band, we fight a lot. We're very anxious, but we create a new album. We contract the service of how can I say, a community manager. We get around 6 or 12 interviews weekly, especially with you, Marcia. Thank you very much for all. We create songs. Everybody in the band have our own home studio. Today it's very easy to acquire that. And get songs. And I say, and send my bass to Lalo. Lalo return his guitars. Our drummer put the clicks on everything. Finally, the lyrics, of course. And we get all this material. We're growing up, update, and finally sent to Mariano Pavés, a very respectable producer here in Chile. And he can cut some things and create our music. Finally, we get the song, we got the record, and sent to press or CDs, or first production. That was released. The first release, of course, was March 21, 2021. And then Wormhole Death, or a record label, here everybody say that guys have something. They communicate by mail with us and say, I want to sign with you. What do you think? Okay, see, that's a good idea. And finally, they released that again in December, December 10, I say in English. We're very happy, but in pandemic times, obviously, all wanna get 38 in the scene and strangulate one each other. I remember that very funny today, but in these times, on those times, was very hard, especially for the soul. We want to kill everybody.
Every day. Sari?
Yeah, first of all, I want to apologize because my English is a little bit rusty, but I'll do my best. So I have a question for both bands. I would like to know something more, talking about your albums. If there is a main theme that combines all the songs in every album, if there is a special story behind the album, and how much work there is behind every album.
Well, when you get an album, obviously there are a lot of songs, some better, some not. But every song sang a different story. Almost all those story talk about the pandemic times, the idea that you're not free to go everywhere or do anything, And the rebel feels that you can feeling when your freedom are courted by all that stuff. There's a lot of passion, I think, on every songs. There are another songs more light, maybe talking about some kind of love, more spiritual love, and obviously more carnal love. I love it that way. I think it's a good album. It's a good collection of songs. I expect, of course, the people like very much, and obviously buy the songs and try to get a great audience because that we're expecting to travel that fall to Europe, September or October 2022, to reinforce to back to I don't know how to say apoyar in English, but support, yeah, to support the sales of the company, the Level Record Wormhole Dead, and try to get some small pubs or festivals. That's the idea. We're talking with the booking agency there to try to get some special offers to do that because the budget is obviously limited. Las ganas tenemos harto nosotros.
Tiny, but it's not the same. The same for fellow.
Yeah, same question.
Yeah, I think the theme of our last record, like the record "This Is Where You'll Find Me," was really centered around the pandemic emotions, right? So depression, anxiety, and there was a song in there. Each one of the songs kind of deals on a different level of emotion that we were feeling at the time. And the cover, that's why the cover is a desert, right? It's a depression in Ethiopia. We kind of thought that really fit for like where, like, this is where you'll find me, like in a depression, because we were very, very like beat up. We made the music, but it was very cathartic. It was like, songs about, we spent most of the time on our devices, because that's the only way that we could communicate. And we did a song about that. One was called "This Is How the World Ends." And we did one about like coping, and drinking too much to try to like get through the day. We called that one "Sun Hangs Low." And we wrote one in the pandemic about the pandemic called "Make No Sound," because it felt like no matter what we could do, we couldn't make noise. Like we could talk to each other, but we couldn't go outside and like play as a band. So in Birdsong, the last one, same kind of concept, only in this case it was like the band was kind of moving in another direction. Our drummer was moving to Minneapolis, unbeknownst to us at the time, but we found out later, like our guitarist Pablo was moving to Austin. So it really, we put a lot into like making that one more of a send off. Like Birdsong is kind of like a swan song, like a farewell. But that ended up not being a farewell because we can't keep us away from music for too long.
Or away from each other. I mean,
That's
one
true.
of the things that ties all of our albums together is the fact that there's this brotherhood. And as our sound evolves, I mean, some of your favorite bands, started off sounding maybe rock and roll and moved metal, maybe started sounding off, a little bluesy and moved rock and roll. Throughout all of our albums, the unifying theme is we come together as a group and we want to enhance each other, but we also want each individual member to contribute to the whole. And I think with Pablo's riffs and JR's lyrics, that's something that unifies us all. The fact that we all bring our unique personalities into each song. So a record may have, guttural growls, and then you may land in a song that's 7.5 minutes because there are progressive elements. That's one of the, I think, the unifying themes across our albums.
Wow, I applaud you. It's very difficult, I think, to know new people, new people, and start a family. We decide to get in, like, fall in love with someone, but when you form, like you start a band, you don't analyze that you have to be a family and an enterprise too, it's both sides, and you are growing together and throwing back to the pandemic like together, and you can feel that in every song. Is very special, so I want to applaud you. We're going to listen the second song, so we can continue knowing these great bands. We're gonna start with Paganos with Wolf. This is a video like they take images from an old movie, and then we're going to Fellowcraft. Okay, so.
Almas de luz y placer.
rabbit hole. On down the rabbit hole.
Excelente, se pasaron. ¡Wow! This is wonderful. I am hoping to have you here in Canada someday, so I can go to a concert. This is like really exciting to see a concert happening. What was the worst during the pandemic when you have to do live streams? This is for fellow craft.
Do you mean what was the worst part about doing live streams when we for the ones we did during the? Oh, I'm gonna let Brandon take this one.
The technology behind it. We Pablo, JR, and I, and Zach as well, love the local venues here, and we wanted to support them as much as possible. The first one we did had some technical issues where in the room we sounded like we normally do when we're on stage, and then in some instances the way that that's kind of pushed out to various platforms can be different. And that was probably one of the more shocking parts about doing trying to do the live stream thing. I echo, the sentiment from all my bandmates and the other bands here about the technology behind sharing music. This is great, but you can't come together like you do in a room and put out the same kind of sound. So that was probably the one of the more trying parts. But again, the brotherhood, being able to actually get there and play something through a live kit, through live monitors, that kind of kept us going. Pablo, JR, I don't know if you have other sentiments there with our live streams.
Well, I have to answer this the same way I answer every time somebody asks me this, even though not everybody agrees with the answer. It felt like doing a porno movie. It felt like having to be in a moment where you had to pretend to be very passionate and pretend to be very engaged and but it was all fake because there was nobody there in front of you, and so it's very hard to enjoy the music at that level when there's nobody in front of you. Live music is all about transferring energy. So you put a song, you play a song and you put it in front of the audience, and then the audience sends you back energy, and then it creates like a virtual cycle that they send you energy and then you give them energy back, and then it's back and forth. But when you're doing a live stream, it's all fake. It's like doing a porno movie. It's you're supposed to pretend to be like you're having this amazing passionate moment, and the only thing that's in front of you is just a person with their camera that's looking at their screen and isn't even looking at you, and it's just going.
We feed off each other pretty well in those moments.
It's what we have.
Our rehearsals are like, yeah, this is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, is the most I don't know. You cannot pretend the energy of the audience is difficult. And now even I heard the interview, as I say, and the thing with the mask and with the social distance and everything is a better, like a little more better, or is the same? How do you feel that doing shows with audience with mask and everything?
That one's on you, Jer.
You're talking to me, Marcia?
No, Jer, the photograph.
I think I think it's good to be back and have any kind of crowd. It's tough with masks, I think, because we're just in a different mindset now. People can't cram in the way that they used to. We're a lot farther apart. The masks also create a certain amount of anxiety amongst people, where some people are more comfortable when they have more space or when everyone's wearing a mask. So it creates a whole nother dynamic that we didn't really have to worry about when we were first playing. But any kind of audience that you can get is a good one. And like it will eventually, I hope, someday go back to normal, but it isn't really the same. It's not that it's bad, but it's not the same kind of experience.
Yeah, but sometimes I heard musicians always say, like, if you are playing for 1 people or 100 people, is the same. You can act the same because you have an audience, and it's not the ideal, but it's better than the streaming part. And for Wolf, how do you feel about going back to the stage? Can you have the possibility to
Nothing compares to stay on stage with all this passion, seeing our friends or new followers, and the feedback. And I couldn't agree with Brandon or Pablo. That feedback, it's not the same thing. To playing, pretending to put the same passion when you're performing to a camera, For me, it's not the real thing. Maybe when you, if you're filming a clip, it's one thing, but try or pretending to are destroying the stage for one camera, and the people see you at the other side of the screen. I don't like it. I recognize that Orban has to lose many terrain on that. But when we back to stage, we have a furious anger when we begin. And people know, people see and say, yeah, that we like. It's not the same thing. Creo que estamos todos de acuerdo en eso. Or
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah, yes. And in Chile, what happened with the social distance and the mask? You have to wear a mask when you are in a concert?
Yes and no. In Chile, you say some orders and we pretend to obey, but place where 30,000 or more left on 15 people. Mask in a bar is absolutely unusual. You're drinking, you put the mask, fuck you, and drink and say, we rock. But today, especially today, many musicians and author companies or gremios are trying to revert these dispositions because first, don't work, and second is damaging very, very hard the industry, the presently industry here in Chile. Nobody here pesca mucho or take order about that. But we don't know. We're expecting that old shit finish one day, maybe soon, ojalá, and get back as must be.
Yeah, I think you are talking about the SCD. Like yesterday, they put a sign, like saying we are not agree with the dispositions and everything. That's what I say.
Yes.
Because I want to say something. I am part of the Federación of Musicians of Chile, and we are fighting like 2 years and a half about that. And this is the first time the SCD start to support the thing. So it's like 2 years late, sirs.
Yes.
It's very, very awful. Sari, do you have any question?
Yes. Short question, short answer. I would like to know if there is a place that can be a theater, festival, a square, a specific country. Where do you like to play?
The dream stage, something like that.
Exactly.
Mine is quick and simple. The 930 Club here in DC has always been mine. Washington DC. So check.
I'm with Brandon. Yeah, that's the spot.
The same?
About?
Perfect. I thought you were gonna say Wagen, something like that in Germany. Okay, so Wolf?
Well, of course, Wacken and Hellfest, but the 930 was also a dream. When we got to play there, it was a dream come true.
Perfect. Wolf?
Same bars, pubs, or gigs in the area. I'm happy with that. I don't ask more, and of course, I like to participate in big festivals or big gigs. By now, I can dream with that. I now see a light onto the tunnel. I hope to see soon. But of course, I love the big stage with all of that lights and PA growing hard.
I wanna be a rock star.
Great.
Okay. I'm gonna play the last songs until we start saying goodbye because we are running out of time, and I feel sorry about my English, but I hope you understand everything. And we're going to listen the last two songs and say goodbye to everybody. So we're starting with Wolf and the recent video. This is Paganos. No, Paganos is the last, or no?
The last
Wolf?
video you put was Pagano, and now it could be Revelación.
Revelación. Okay. So I'm gonna put first the Fellow Craft song. I wanna hear the last bird song with Cody Lee Ford, and then going to Wolf. Okay.
This pains me to say I'm no good at entorno. Las calles solas se verán caer. Son tiempos duros donde la escasez es un conjuro que les da poder. Mi sangre hierve, iremos por ti. La noche clama, voy a destruir. Revelación, se acaba el mundo, dominación de los incultos es la misión. Quebrar el mundo porque sí. En verde se deja caer. Él no me asusta, no es mi primera vez. Nos acorralan, debemos huir. Pelear de nuevo nos hará rugir. No hay plaga ni hambre que nos pueda matar. Rebeldes somos a tu orden mundial. Revelación del inframundo, dominación. Es la misión, quebrar el mundo queda así.
No. I'm super happy, super happy to be here. I want to let you say the final words to everybody. So I ask you to say whatever you want. I wanna start with Brandon. The thing you can say, maybe an advice for a new band or whatever you want to say.
I think it's really important to find some people you like playing with music that you like to play, because if those two elements aren't there, then it's going to feel more like a job. And granted, being a band can be a job sometimes, but you know, you should also make sure that you're having fun with it. And we hope to see all of you out, at some point in a festival later on this year or next year.
Exactly.
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. Vamos con JR.
Thank you for having me. It's a real pleasure. My best goes out to all your future shows and your future audiences. And yeah, like Brandon said, like enjoy each other, enjoy making music. Yeah, keep playing live and keep being loud.
Yeah. Going to Pablo.
Thank you very much, Marcia, for having us on your show and for introducing us to Wolf, such a great band that we're going to be adding to our playlist now that we got to see the videos. And we're very much looking forward to staying in touch with everybody that we met today. And thank you so much for inviting us on your show. And yeah, I hope to be back soon. Thank you, Marcia. Thank you, Sarah. And thank you, Wolf.
how to follow Fellowcraft. Is that Fellowcraft band?
Yeah, just Google Fellowcraft Band and you'll get everything. Spotify, Bandcamp, Instagram, Twitter, everything.
Think that no. Okay, going to Sarah.
Congratulations, Wolf and Fellowcraft, for your energy, for your power. Thank you for being here with us. And gracias, Marcia, y a todos nuestros oyentes.
I want to say sorry to Sarah to obligate you, make you do this craziness. But
No.
I watch Fellowcraft in that show, and I say, "Oh, I have to have them." And I heard Pablo saying, I wrote to these musicians on Instagram, and they say yes. So I say maybe they
Yeah,
say
it
yes.
was great.
So this is a great show. I thank you everybody, and I hope you have the best in your careers. Maybe I forget Wolf. Sorry, Wolf.
Well, to say thanks for a chance to show our music and a real chance to know another band. In that case, Fellowcraft. It's really surprise for me see a band that the songs I like. I see very good musicians, and of course I'm googling. Now I follow your Instagram. See you on Spotify and spend the night hearing your music, boys. Thank you everybody.
And how do you follow Wolf? Is Wolf Rock Chile
Yeah, arroba Wolf Rock Chile.
in every social media?
On all the it's everywhere, everybody.
Yes. Okay. Thank you all, and have a good music life. Bye bye.
Bye. Ciao.
Ciao.